Today I'm going to do a navy blue smoky eye on Hanako. Now navy may or may not be the new black, but it is a really nice alternative for a smoky eye than the usual greys and blacks, and I hope you like it. So I'm going to start by using these navy blues and blues from the Dior Spring collection, and this palette is called Bleu de Paris. Before I use the blue, I'm going to use some Nars Pro Prime Eye Primer. So I'm going to start by using the darker shade. Just patting the darker shade all over Hanako's lid. I haven't done any base yet, because even though I'm holding up a tissue, there's always a little bit that gets onto the skin and makes the base look dirty, so do the base afterwards. And then when I get up higher, I'll just ask you to open your eyes, Hanako, and then I can see exactly where I want it to be. So if you open your eyes again for me, just look straight ahead there, and then I can see how far up I want the colour to come, and I want it to just show when Hanako's eyes are open. So roughly about there. And take exactly the same shade all along underneath and just joining up at that outer edge. This can be quite smoky, so you can come quite far down really. It will be very, very soft. You can always add more. It's better to start off with a bit less and then introduce a little bit more. Next I'm going to use Benefit's BADgal black liner. Close your eyes for me. It's just all the way through the roots of the lashes. Really working it in so you get a nice inky base. And the same underneath, just look up for me. I go along a waterline. This is all going to be smudged in later, so don't worry about being too perfect. So make sure you get it really into the roots of the lashes and make that nice dark centre. Okay, so back in with the navy blue. Look up for me. Just going to smudge in all of this pencil. Get a really good smoke going on. After I've done concealer under the eyes as well, I'll come back and just finish this off. I think the main thing to do is just keep blending, keep smudging as much as you can. So I'm going to go back in with the darkest navy and add a little bit of this slightly shimmery, lighter blue. And just going to go over these edges, intensifying them but also softening. And just keep working on those edges until they start to look really nice and soft, intense but soft at the edges. So that's my rough shape mapped out. Now I'm going to go on to skin, and then we'll come back to the eyes in a second. So let me see, I'm going to use some Healthy Mix, regular Healthy Mix in number 52. Hanako's got fantastic skin, so I don't need much in the way of foundation. I'm just going to even out a little bit, mainly down the centre. But whatever you need to do. If you need to do more foundation or concealing, just make sure that the overall impression is quite light, simply because the eyes are going to be quite intense. And we want a nice fresh skin to go with that. Lots of people have been asking me this week, what's the difference between the Healthy Mix serum and the original Healthy Mix, which is what I'm using now. The original Healthy Mix is much more of a matte finish. It's a drier texture, so it's better probably for normal to combination skin and the oilier skins, whereas the serum is very, very hydrating. It's a much shinier finish, much dewier finish. So I'd say it was better for normal to dry and dehydrated skin. or skin which in the winter gets dehydrated. Next I'm going to use the Lasting Perfection Collection 2000 Long Wearing Concealer, and this is Fair, the lightest one. I'm also going to use a MAC 217. It's quite a lot of coverage, you don't need very much of this at all. The tiniest amount is enough. And I'm going to make sure that's all blended at the edges. So next I'm going to use some eyelash curlers. Just look down for me. I need to give a really good curl. You've got quite straight eyelashes. Do you normally use eyelash curlers yourself?
Yeah, I do, but I lost them.
How
I
did
lost
you?
my eyelash curlers.
How?
I was cleaning my room, and then I think I threw them away.
Oh no. So I'm going to use mascara now, and this is Max Factor False Lash Effect, which is pretty much the same as, which one is it by CoverGirl now? I can't remember. I think it's Lash Blast. So I'm just going to fill in all these gaps here, just from above. This is called Soft Copper, and it's a nice warm tone, which I think works really well against the cold blue of the eyes. This warms the face up a little bit. And a tiny bit of that onto lips as well. Just a small amount. And I'm going to use a little bit of lip gloss. This is just a slightly shimmery gloss by Oon, and it's a pale one. Just to add a little bit of shimmer. Smells nice. Okay, now I just need to go back and double check on my eyes, and I just need to do some final blending. So I'm going to go in with the lighter blue again, this blue here. Bigger brush, and just really soften off all of those edges. Do you ever do smoky eyes on yourself, Kanika?
I don't, because I don't really know how to do it.
What difficulties do you have? How do you?
Well, because I don't have a, what's it called, socket?
Socket, yeah.
I find it quite difficult because my eyes can look quite small if I put a lot on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how to go about it.
I think the best thing for you to do would be to always keep looking ahead. You know, when you're doing your makeup.
Yeah.
So do sort of your eyelid normally, and then look straight ahead in a mirror.
Yeah.
And while you're looking ahead, do this shape here.
Okay.
So you can sort of see, and if you keep stepping back and looking, you can kind of create a bit more of a socket line, a little bit higher.
Do I do that with a darker colour?
I would do it with a darker colour, and then you can always go over and do what I'm doing now, which is after the darker colour, I'm just going over and using a lighter shade just to blend everything in.
Okay.
It just is a nice finishing touch. You can do that right at the end when you've sort of finished the rest of your makeup, and just blend everything in. And then using the same lighter blue shade, look up for me. I'm going to really just do a last minute smudge under here as well, just because since I've applied the concealer, we don't want to have a step between the concealer and the smokiness. For an evening, you could add a little bit of extra shine in the inner corner, or you could even use a sort of, maybe even a slightly more glittery navy blue over the top and just blend it away. Actually, I found a really nice one from the Bodyshop that had a really shimmery, glittery blue. But yeah, the main thing is just keep blending those edges. And that's the finished look.